When you start to understand the experiences that Christ has put inside you, and I'm talking about before the foundation of the world, that is a reality. That's not something you dream about. That's something that is inherent inside of you. The greater that revelation becomes, the less interested you are in the things that created this material world. You have to make that priority in your observations when you awake each day. Because when you arise each day and you participate in doing what you've always done, going through the same routines, doing the same things, disliking the same people, looking for the same pains in your body, nothing new can happen in your life. Now I want that to sink in. All of us have a routine because it's familiar, it's predictable. We're not going to be surprised by an unknown event because we feel like we have some kind of control of our life. But that's really not making Christ Lord, is it? Lord means you are ready to serve God in a split second. That attention requires you to be void of experiences from the past. Pay attention to what I'm telling you. It's going to set some of you free. If you're void from the experiences of the past, you can entertain the freshness of His mercy and His grace. Remember, we practice breathing His mercy and grace. And you know what that does? It changes the frequencies inside of us. When you change the frequencies inside of your mentality, you open the door for new experiences from the divine. You see, most of us have had traumas in our life. Most of us grow up having some kind of experience that has marked us. And even though we may not be conscious of it, that subconscious program that has traumatized us has created a back noise, a deadening sound, a resonance, as they say in science. That resonance permeates your body. It creates a state of being that only allows you to receive what that resonance inside of you is able to receive. You see, if somebody is sad, if somebody feels like they've been rejected, if somebody is fearful, they have a frequency inside of them. That's a resonant sound. So if somebody is talking, like I'm giving you keys that will set you free, you're not going to hear that resonating sound because your resonating sound is only listening for something that validates your experiences of sadness, of fear, of rejection. You understand? So you can go to all the greatest healers in the world. You can listen to the greatest speakers in the world. But if you're carrying around this state of being that resonates fear and resonates rejection, you're not going to hear those keys that'll set you free. That's why the words of Jesus are so powerful. Because He was the one that is speaking in the material world, spiritual frequency, resonating words that can transport you into the timeless. Remember what He says in John 6:63. I know we speak about this verse often, but it is one of the keys that help me, and I'm sure it can help you. It is the Spirit who gives life. The flesh profits nothing. The words that I speak to you are spirit, and they are life. See, we don't have life if we have fear. There's no life in fear. And the words in the material realm are founded in fear. We've spoken about that over and over again. It's written in this book several times. The foundation of this world is built upon the fear of death. Fear has no life. So Jesus comes in the flesh as the Word of life and speaks that's translating, transferring, transcendental words that change your state of being from fear to life. And the reason that happens is because you stop paying attention to the external environment where your senses are so keen on predicting the outcome of those experiences. You see, your brain hates to be surprised. It wants to predict everything that happens in your life. It wants to be the one that tells you, look out for this, watch out for that, take care of this, buy 2 of those, you may not get one tomorrow. All of those things that make you want to be part of this world system, which is grounded in fear, resonates that frequency in you so you can't receive those words of life. Is that clear? I want you to listen to this over and over again so that you can start to recognize when you're resonating in that fear and not resonating in that life. Because that frequency that you put off is what you're going to bring back. Your thoughts send out a signal. Your heart sends out a signal. When they're joined together, they're a magnetic force that brings back exactly what you believe, both in your mind and in your heart. But if your heart says, I love Jesus, and your thoughts are, what happens tomorrow? I'm afraid I could get in a wreck. I'm going to get sick. Where's my vaccine? You're not creating a coherent signal that is going to bring you what your heart desires. And that's how most people spend their life. Schizophrenic Christians. They're told what to repeat. I mean, I grew up in the time when they had this word of faith movement where you just confess the word and confess the word and confess the word, and yet inside of you, you're worried about everything. You want to get money, you want to get position, you want to have things. That is not a coherent signal that God can respond to. So you live a schizophrenic life, and you wonder why you're sick. You wonder why things are happening in your life. Listen, the minute you try to prepare for something that you think can come to harm you, you've already told that thing that you're afraid of it, and it's going to come. Like a person that says, have you had your vaccine yet? Have you taken your shot yet? You know, those vaccines are just like Jesus laying his hands on you. What kind of nonsense is that? Who in the world would say something like that? What is inside of you is greater than any vaccine. It's greater than anything you can get from this world system. But if your attention and your belief is not focused on what he's done at resurrection, you're going to be suspect, you're going to be susceptible, and you're going to submit to everything this world system is throwing at you. And you're going to pay attention to it more than you pay attention to what Christ did. That's just how it works. We are created with such a magnificent opportunity to be the creators of a new world in the one that we created. You can do that every time you wake up, as long as you recognize when you're in time and when you're out of time.